Hey, how's it going, guys? So today I have a news video for you. I couldn't finish the project I was working on for this week, so instead I'm bringing you a short news update straight from Good Smile Company's US site. Now, I don't think they actually even talked about this, but I believe it to be pretty important. And if you're from Europe, don't fret because you guys had some news yourself. They're actually making a Good Smile Europe now. I believe it was announced during like Japan Expo at some point in this week, which is pretty exciting. You know, I don't know if that's going to be the saving grace for you guys. I don't know if it's going to be any cheaper or not. But if this update for the US site is anything to go by, then it might actually be worthwhile. So what am I talking about? Well, the exchange rate is the topic we're going to be talking about today. Now, if you collect figures, you probably follow the exchange rate of your currency to Japanese yen. It just makes sense. All of us kind of import stuff, and we need to know how much we're actually spending. But the problem was the pricing on the US site compared to the global site. It very often made sense to just buy stuff from the global site because the exchange rate was heavily in our favor, especially now. Things are crazy. I think it's like 138 yen to a dollar. I have not seen a price like that ever since collecting, so now is the time to import stuff. But yeah, because of the US site's pricing, it made no sense to buy from them. If you pre-ordered something on the global site that was like 20,000 yen, it would be $200 on the US site. But as you might be able to guess by this video existing, things have changed for the better, and I just want to talk about it. And I think the best way to just demonstrate what I'm talking about is to just go through the website and show you. Now, I believe this started in the beginning of July, but I do want to start with a figure that went up for pre-order last month, the Miku Nakano date style version. Fantastic figure, absolutely love it, and it costs 18,800 yen. Now, if we just Google the exchange rate, we can see that it costs $135.70 roughly. I'm sure this will change by the time you view this video, but that's what it currently is right now. So if we head on over to the global site, we can see that the price is exactly the same at 18,800 yen. But on the US store, it's $170.99. It's still nowhere near the actual exchange rate, and this is why people often wouldn't pre-order on the Good Smile US site. There just wasn't really enough incentive to do so. Okay, so let's move on to the next figure. We know how much Miku costs. How about this Colors Blue figure that went up for pre-order in the beginning of July? A lot of you guys might be interested in this one. This is made by Solar Rain, a company I'm not too familiar with, if I'm being honest. This figure kind of gives me like Nier Automata vibes. Certainly has like a slight 2B thing going on. Cute anime girl, big sword in hand, leotard looking outfit. What is that, a barcode on her leg and a mole near her crotch? All right, let's not get too distracted. This figure cost 23,100 yen. And again, if we search that number up, we could see that it's about $167, which, hey, not really a bad price at all. Going to the global site, we could see again, it's the same price, but on the US site, now it's $170, which is only about a $3 difference. So you can see that the price is actually reflecting the exchange rate. It's not 100% accurate because I believe this is the exchange rate of when this figure actually went up for pre-order like a week or so ago, but it's still so much better than what it used to be. But as you guys know, this is not the final price. So let's actually check out and see how much this figure will cost in the end. Now I'm heading over to checkout, and I left Miku Nakano in my cart as well so that we can compare both of them. But let's just focus on Colors Blue first. We can see that UPS shipping is $9.93, which is not bad at all, but we do have to pay tax of about $12. So the total price is $191. Now the great thing about the global site is that the shipping fee is always a flat rate of 2,000 yen, so it's really not hard to figure out how much this is going to cost. If we add that 2,000 to the original price, we could see that it's now 25,100 yen, which translates to about $181. So yes, in this example, it still is cheaper to buy from the global site, but there are a few things I want to note here. Now one, the exchange rate that we're seeing on Google is not likely the price that you're actually paying. PayPal is notorious for having really bad exchange rates. Anyone who's paid for an import with PayPal knows what I'm talking about. And there are ways around this, like you can use your bank account on PayPal instead, make it so that you pay in yen instead of USD, and have the bank account do the exchange rate itself, which usually does save you some money, but every bank account is also different. I can tell you that my exchange rate is a little bit better, but I also have to pay a foreign transaction fee after the fact. Recently, actually, I paid for Melia from Xenoblade Chronicles. It was about 22,000 yen after shipping, which is apparently about $158. Now, my bank account charged me $160, which is relatively close, but then the foreign transaction fee was another $5, so that was about $7 more than I would expect to pay, and that's really not that bad at all. But if we consider that the Colors Blue figure was about $10 of a difference, and my bank account is probably going to ask me for $6 or $7 more, then suddenly the prices from both Good Smile stores are really not that different anymore. The other point I want to make though is that the prices are locked in on the US store. And what I mean by that is that what you see here is exactly what you're going to pay. We have no idea where the yen is actually going to be by the time this figure comes out, or any figure for that matter. Lately, it's becoming more of a trend for people to pay for their pre-orders now with like certain websites, instead of waiting it out and seeing where the yen ends up. Considering the yen is at one of its weakest points in a very long time, it makes sense to want to pay for everything now if you can. So by using the US store, you lock in your price and you can just rest easy. Plus, you can also cancel your pre-order very easily if you ever wanted to. As a side note, this figure is also on Amiami, though there is no discount because it's a limited figure. So I feel pretty confident in saying that like this price here on the US store is gonna be better than whatever Amiami asks for, because the shipping price will likely be more than 2,000 yen or $20 for this shipping and tax. Now before I move on to my next example, I want to talk about Miku Nakano again really quickly. Her price is $192, everything included, but when compared to the global site after you add shipping, which is about 20,800 yen, the exchange rate is about $150. So while Colors Blue is about a $10 difference, Miku Nakano is a $40 difference, and that's kind of the main point I'm trying to make with this video. Even if the US store is not the absolute best place to buy these figures, they still have dropped their prices significantly. I mean, the fact that these two figures cost the exact same price despite there being like a 4,000 to 5,000 yen difference is really all the evidence you need. But I do want to talk about another figure really quick as an even better example. The Eren Yeager Nendoroid based on the final season. And just like Colors Blue, I'm not really here to review this guy or give you my opinion on him. We'll talk more about him in the pre-order roundup in the beginning of next month. But this one is a really great example. So this Nendoroid costs 6,100 yen, which is about $44. Very reasonable for a Nendoroid. Now, this is an exclusive, so you do have to pre-order it through Good Smile Company or one of their partner sites, which does mean there's no sale. So after shipping on the global site will be at 8,100 yen or $58. However, on the US site, he's $44.99, which again is very close to the actual exchange rate. But if we were to throw him in our cart and check out the shipping and tax, we could see that shipping is about $633 for UPS ground, and tax is only $340 because it's nowhere near as expensive as the other two figures. So the total is only $54.72, which is actually cheaper this time around. So suddenly now the US site actually might be better than the global site. Sure, you might have to wait a little bit longer, but that might be worth it for some people who don't mind waiting and rather save some money. And just to go back really quickly to my earlier point, your bank account or PayPal are not going to give you the exact exchange rate that we saw earlier. That $58 might be closer to $60 or $62. Yeah, it's not a huge difference, but savings are savings, and now the cheapest website might actually be the US store. So I guess to conclude my point, it does seem like limited figures are a bit better of an idea to buy from the US store compared to something like a standard release Nendoroid or a figure. If it has a standard release, then buying it from Amiami or Hobby Search or Hobby Link, those are going to have discounts, and you're probably going to win out in the end. You're going to save a little bit more money because of those pre-order discounts. I don't know exactly how every figure is going to stack up price-wise, but it does kind of seem to be the case from the research I've done on this one. For example, Star Guardian Jinx, the new League of Legends figure that's 36,000 yen. It's a very expensive figure, and one that does have a discount on Amiami. It's a standard release, so instead over there it costs 29,000 yen or so. And I gotta imagine that even after shipping, despite how this figure looks pretty big, you will probably still win out by ordering on Amiami or the global site. I didn't do a store comparison on this figure because I'm not trying to make this video that long, but that's my guess. On the other hand, figures like the Rin and Nendoroids from the Miku 2022 Symphony are going to be a little bit cheaper on the US site. It really is just going to depend on which figure you buy, but it does seem to kind of lend a little bit more in favor of smaller stuff. Another figure I compared was the Rimaru Freeing figure, which was about a $20 to $30 difference, I believe. So again, it's a little bit bigger. It's going to cost more to ship, and because it's so expensive, there's going to be more tax on it. I mean, if you live in California, you might save more money because the shipping fee won't be nearly as high as someone like me on the East Coast, but you're just going to have to try it out for yourself. Either way, the prices have significantly dropped on this website now. Really, it is a great thing. I think they should have talked about this. Maybe they did somewhere, but I have not seen any information on it, so that's why I wanted to make this video. Just because, hey, maybe now you'll want to use this website. But yeah, that's the video. Now there's even more reason to use the US site, which is great. Hopefully this all kind of transitions into the European site whenever that exists. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Will you be using the US site a little bit more from now on? Or do you still think they need to improve their website a little bit more. Certainly, I'm not going to switch all my stuff over to the US site, but I do think that it might actually become an option now. Maybe I will pre-order some stuff at the US site if I'm actually going to save some money. We'll have to wait and see to see if there's anything I actually want in the upcoming months. I'm not going to cancel anything just to switch over my pre-orders. I think that's kind of dumb, but either way, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you want to talk to me about anything I discussed in this video, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.